Apple sell the hype that the Apple Watch can help you to get fit and healthy, but you can also use it to keep you safe. By the end of this video, I'm gonna take you from I don't know what the health and safety features are and I don't know how to use them, to I'm familiar with the health and safety features and I can configure them for my needs. Let's get into it. First up, Medical ID. Medical ID is available on the iPhone and the Apple Watch. It gives important health information to first responders, things like your blood type, previous health conditions, or your emergency contacts. You can choose to give as much or as little information as you want in the Medical ID. It's completely up to you. To access Medical ID, you press and hold the side button until you see the option come up, and then you swipe over there to see all the details for that given person. There's also a feature called Emergency SOS Calling. Again, you press and hold the side button until you see this option come up, and then you swipe Emergency SOS and it will make the call to the first responders. This feature is always active on the Apple Watch in the same way as it is on the iPhone, but note that on a cellular Apple Watch, you can make SOS calls regardless of if you have a cellular plan or not. However, if you've got a non-cellular Apple Watch, you gotta have your iPhone nearby, or you got to be connected to a Wi-Fi network and make sure you have the setting for enable Wi-Fi calling switched on. Next up, let's talk about heart rate notifications. The Apple Watch does a decent job of measuring your heart rate. It's not the best, but it does a decent job of it, especially if you have a newer Apple Watch with the ECG app built in. You can set up alerts for if your heart rate goes too high or if your heart rate goes too low. If it goes too high for 10 minutes or more and the Apple Watch thinks you're inactive, like you're just sitting or standing somewhere, then it will give you an alert to let you know that your heart rate's gone too high. Vice versa, if your heart rate goes too low for 10 minutes or longer, it will let you know that your heart rate's dropped really low. On the same note, the Apple Watch can test for an irregular heartbeat. While most irregular heartbeats are harmless and disappear by themselves, if they're persistent, they can be serious. The Apple Watch has a feature where it will use the optical heart sensor here at the bottom to measure your heart rhythm. I'm not a medical expert, but I know in watchOS 9 that's releasing in September 2022, there is a feature called AFib. AFib is a type of irregular heartbeat, and the idea behind this feature is it tracks the intensity and the duration of AFib and any lifestyle changes that might influence it. You also have the option to set up cardio fitness notifications. Most people know that good cardio fitness is a strong indicator of good health. It helps fight heart disease, improve sleep, and it can prevent diabetes. Once you got this set up, your Apple Watch can send you notifications when it estimates that your cardio fitness is low. If you get a few of these notifications, you might decide to take some kind of action to try and improve your fitness. Another feature on the Apple Watch is blood oxygen. Now this was a massive deal on the Apple Watch Series 6 onwards. This might come as a surprise, but oxygen is incredibly toxic. Oxygen can cause cell damage if there's too much of it in the body, and obviously if we don't have enough oxygen, we could potentially die. That's a bit extreme, but that's the truth of it. We need it, right? For medical professionals, tracking blood oxygen levels can provide a lot of information about that person's health. With the blood oxygen app, it can take measurements of your blood oxygen throughout the day and on demand when you choose to do so. For most people, this will be normal, but it's good to have running in the background just in case. Another safety feature on the Apple Watch is automatic fall detection. So here's how it works. If you've taken a hard fall, and if you can't move, it will automatically call the emergency services, and then it will send your location to your emergency contacts. It does that all completely automatically. You can choose to have this feature switched on all the time during your workouts, or have it completely switched off. And the incentive to have it completely switched off is that if you lead an active lifestyle and you think you're going to be taking lots of knocks and hits and falls for whatever reason, you might not want your Apple Watch to accidentally do the automatic fall detection. And in which case it makes sense to turn it off. Cool, so that moves us on to the next safety feature, which is walking steadiness. In a nutshell, the Apple Watch takes a bunch of smart measurements to see how balanced you are when you walk. If it thinks you're at an elevated risk of falling in the next 12 months, it will let you know that through a notification. Last but not least, let's talk about the noise app. This one's a bit of an unsung hero because I feel like we don't take care of our ears enough. The way it works is that this app will listen for ambient sound levels in the room around you. If the sound level has risen to a point where your hearing can be affected, it will let you know. There's a variety of noise thresholds as recommended by the World Health Organization, and you can choose from one of these thresholds on when you'd like to get notified. For instance, on my Apple Watch, if the sound level gets to 90 decibels and it's been like that for half an hour or more, it will notify me. Okay, so that was a quick whistle-top tour of all the health and safety features on the Apple Watch. Now you might be wondering, how can you check for yourself what you have active, what you don't have active, and how you can configure it for yourself? There's a really, really easy way to do this. I'm gonna show you now. You need to get your iPhone and then find the health app. In the top right corner, you have your profile. Click on your profile and then scroll until you find health checklist and press that button. There you're gonna have an entire list of your active and inactive health and safety features across your iPhone and your Apple Watch, and you can go into each one of them and like toggle the notifications on or off, or customize when you'd like it to trigger, when you wouldn't like it to trigger. So have a play around with all the features inside there. If you enjoyed this video, you should check out my top 10 Apple Watch tips that everyone should know.